G'day boys, and welcome to the second and probably the better of the two presentations for Stem17. In this STEM we look at the health promotion based on the 5 action areas of the Ottawa Charter. In particular, I'm looking at the last two sub-dot points under this major dot point. So we're looking at how health promotion based on the Ottawa Charter actually promotes social justice, and we also look at the Ottawa Charter in action. And that second point there relates specifically to this Learn To. So you'll learn to actually analyse the importance of the 5 action areas of the Ottawa Charter through a study of 2 health promotion initiatives. And they have to be initiatives related to our health priorities. And we'll have a look at 2 specific initiatives a little bit later on. The first point we deal with, though, is how the Ottawa Charter, or using health promotion, using the Ottawa Charter as a model, promotes social justice. And just a couple of points here as to what social justice is. So remember, anything to do with social justice is trying to reduce an inequality that's suffered by a certain part of the population, by a disadvantaged part of the population. And these principles here, you can see they involve participation, equity, access rights, supportive environments, and acknowledging diversity. So before we actually get into exactly how health promotion will promote social justice when using the Ottawa Charter model, we better look at the 5 action areas of the Ottawa Charter. And the way that we remember this, of course, is the 2004 Grand Final, and the champion Bulldogs defeat Sydney Roosters. So obviously the key letters are C, B, D, S, R, and they stand for create supportive environments, build healthy public policy, develop personal skills, strengthen community action, and reorient health services. Now, in the context of this dot point, you don't need to talk too much about what they actually are. Okay, that was more the preliminary course. What you're doing here is actually applying them to a health promotion initiative and showing how they promote social justice. So if a health promotion initiative adheres to these 5 action areas of the Ottawa Charter, social justice will be achieved. Well, in theory anyway. So let's have a look firstly at developing personal skills. Okay, and what I've done here with each of the headings is the first point underneath each heading shows how health promotion based on this particular part of the Ottawa Charter will promote social justice. So we can say if we develop a personal skill, a person's personal skills, this is going to improve their ability to access information and services, and it's going to empower them to defend their rights. So that's showing how the Ottawa Charter promotes social justice in this particular context. You can just have a read through here of what people can actually do to develop personal skills. But the important thing is this first point there. Moving on to building healthy public policy, again, you can see if this is adhered to, it acknowledges diversity and it leads to the creation of supportive environments. And as you know, supportive environments is another part of the Ottawa Charter. And again, you can read through these points yourself. The strengthen community action. By doing this, we raise awareness of people's rights, we promote equity, and we also facilitate participation by community members. So again, that's another way of addressing social justice issues, particularly this promoting equity. If we involve people from all over the community in certain programs or projects or campaigns. Creating supportive environments. By doing this, we increase access to services and facilities, encourage participation, and improve living conditions. And again, that actually is social justice or addressing social justice principles. And the 5th one, reorienting health services. When this is followed, this improves access to health services and promotes equity by supporting the disadvantaged. And again, that's exactly what social justice principles are designed to address. Equities that are suffered by the disadvantaged, so we want to, inequities that are suffered by the disadvantaged, we want to address them, so try and make things as equitable as possible. Now we've actually got a little case study for you to look at. You'll get a hard copy of this. It's in your textbook as well, but we'll give you a photocopy. And you can see we look at the New South Wales Refugee Health Service. We will read through this in class, but it goes through every area of the Ottawa Charter. You can see here, developing personal skills. Now let's just talk about this one in a little bit of detail, and the same applies for all the other, or for the other 4 areas. So it just gives a little spiel here as to what the RHS is the Refugee Health Service, obviously, where it mentions RHS here. but what they're actually faced with when they arrive, and what the RHS actually does for them. And here in the grey writing, it's showing how this is a social justice principle. So it's showing how the Ottawa Charter applies the principles of social justice. So what you've got here in the dark writing for each thing is just what they're doing, and the grey writing is actually how the principles of social justice are applied here. So you can see you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and over the page, this is continuing on with the fourth area, and 5, the last area there of the Ottawa Charter. So that's a case study of how the Ottawa Charter, when it's applied, that social justice principles are being catered for. Second part of the dot point relates specifically, as I said, to analysing the importance of the 5 action areas of the Ottawa Charter by looking at 2 health promotion initiatives related to Australia's health priorities. So we're going to look at Beyond Blue, which is dealing with depression, and in context of health priorities, that would be dealing with mental health, and the National Tobacco Strategy, which is represented by this Every Cigarette is Doing You Damage, which obviously relates to cardiovascular disease, and it also relates to cancer, in particular lung cancer. So what we've done is just looked at this little sub-dot point is called the Ottawa Charter in Action. So we've got the 2 case studies, and this is straight from your textbook, so you've got it in your textbook, and we'll also give you a hard copy. But the first page is just a general overview of the actual health promotion campaign, so you will need to familiarise yourself with that. And the second page is how a critical analysis of how the Ottawa Charter is applied in this actual campaign. You can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 fifth area there of the Ottawa Charter. So this basically does everything for you by putting it into clear areas. So it clearly shows the Ottawa Charter in action. This advocating, enabling and mediating, those 3 words are the catch cry of the Ottawa Charter. So that's sort of just a summary of how this health promotion campaign of Beyond Blue is actually embracing all 5 areas of the Ottawa Charter. The second case study we look at is the National Tobacco Strategy, again straight from your textbook. First page, just an overview of the actual strategy or the actual health promotion campaign, what they were trying to achieve and how they sort of went about it. And the second page, again, goes through the 5 areas there. You can see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas of the Ottawa Charter, and shows them in action and shows how the National Tobacco Strategy uses all 5 areas of the Ottawa Charter. So it's modelled on the Ottawa Charter. And again, you've got the summary of the strategy here down the bottom. So that's the end of STEM 17.2. Really hope you enjoyed the show, and look forward to your questions in class, even from Mr. Brennan's class. That'd be great. Bye.